Smartphone Nation: Why We're All Addicted to Screens and What You Can Do About It, by Dr. Kaitlyn Regehr, read by the author.
For my daughters. Introduction. My daughter wants a cat named Unicorn for her birthday. I resisted. I tried to debate, but the requests for Unicorn persisted. That is, they did. They did until the day when my 4-year-old bounded through the front door with her friend. They spoke loudly about their preferred type of ice lollies, a mutual dislike for hairbrushing, and then, "Do you know what?" my daughter questioned. "I'm getting a phone for my birthday." Somehow, in my daughter's imagination, the smartphone is a marker of maturity, a different mythical creature to be given when she reached the milestone of big girl, the age of 5. And in that moment, Unicorn the cat melted away. After that, I began to reflect on my own phone usage, particularly around my children. I wondered if, through the apparent flexibility of the digital workspace, I had begun to respond, just quickly, to a few too many emails in front of my kids. I wondered if I should only work on a laptop in their presence. I considered if my love of capturing their life moments, or sharenting, a concept I now teach to my graduate students, was no longer healthy. Or if in those tired end-of-the-day moments when I scroll to soothe, my kid had been watching. And in turn, what had I been watching? An eternal procession of things I should want, should need, and should be. What is the sum of all this screen consumption? And how does it impact what I understand, know, or even think? The truth is, though I can make different choices about how I use my phone around my children, and this book will cover that very point, and though my daughter won't get a phone this year, or probably for the better part of another decade, she has already begun to be swept up in the march of ever-changing technologies, and I, like so many parents, need to begin to prepare her. I need to sow the seeds of critical screen engagement, what is healthy consumption and what is not. And I will have to begin to make choices about the types of screens she uses. When, if at all, do I get my child a phone? Should it be a smart one or a dumb one? Should I allow any apps? Which apps are good? Which are potentially harmful? Will her offline communication be stunted? How will I speak to her about unrealistic body ideals, pornography, predators? And even before she has a smartphone, how will I deal with the impacts of the internet on the offline world she inhabits? Because, of course, harm doesn't stay on screens, but rather bleeds out into schoolyards and onto streets. These are the things that wake me up in the night. The things I try to solve at 3 a.m. when I shoot up messy-haired and groggy to type out some ideas on my phone, the very device at the root of my concern. Concern not just for my own children, not just for all children, but for all of us, humans, as we sit in our information silos being served our daily dose of personalized content, one-sided arguments, things that close us down, things that limit us, or simply things that find the chink and pry into our most vulnerable selves, making us feel threatened or just a little lesser than. This is the digital diet to which many of us, I would argue most of us, are now addicted. I've written this book not because there isn't enough resource available on digital literacy, but rather because there is too much. As one exasperated teacher expressed at an event I attended recently, people are very worried about this issue, and equally, they're completely overwhelmed. They don't know where to start. Much of the guidance is that we should be talking about these issues, particularly to our kids, which is difficult if you don't have the knowledge or context to actually have the conversation. That is, it's hard to have open conversations about technology if you don't understand said technology,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?